plays games with Steve.
Since Luna didn't vote, she got sent to Ally automatically. Also, it's a new session, but it's a nighttime session because we want to finish the game tonight. Last episode, Steve was like, I can't just wait a week here.
No.
Yeah, and I couldn't blame him. I was like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Since we're nearing the end, should I talk more about...
Oh, yeah, let's talk... your thoughts on what... A lot happened last session.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna... I don't know, I'm gonna make a more interesting visual here.
Okay.
You know what? Let me go back.
Oh my god, stop wasting time.
The flow. Okay. So, yeah, I was like always kind of skeptic with Luna, because Luna always ally, and I had to, and it felt like she was like, I don't want to say narc, but she felt like she was definitely someone trying to, I don't want to say manipulate, but just try to like get everyone to just, yeah, everyone just ally and we could all escape. It felt like she was a plant. I knew someone was going to be a golem. I thought it was some people. I don't know if I thought she was one, right?
No, you never said that.
No. Well, maybe not to you.
Oh, okay.
But I did have a suspicion. We talked about this like, I always found like her deaths were always, I was curious about them because no one ever seemed wrapped up in the storylines where she died, or everybody like, oh my god, Luna's dead. Everyone always was like Alice. But I had a feeling like it's like some of these people are golems. Hell, maybe all of them are golems. Maybe other than Dio. Maybe Dio. I don't know. But how this ties in with the previous game now. Because I was thinking about who are the 5 people that escaped.
That was Junpei, Akane, Clover, Seven, and...
No, Akane wasn't with them.
Oh, no, that's right.
It was
Junpei, Clover,
Seven,
Snake, Seven,
and
Lotus.
Lotus.
Yeah.
And yeah, because no one's heard from Junpei since. And I think I did talk in a previous episode. It's like Tenmyoji, like old Junpei or something. But then I thought about a character I haven't thought about in a while. Was Santa. I forget what happened to that character. And then looking at Tenmyoji, he kind of looks Santa-ish. But, but then again, there's the Akane picture that could still be Junpei. I don't know. I forget what happened to Santa. And the April Fool's episode, I should say. Jay did point out that Tenmyoji kind of looks Santa-ish. So, just saying. Just had some thoughts. Though there's so many things here I couldn't have predicted, so I'm not gonna.
But what about how do you explain the Clover thing then?
The Clover thing, yeah. Good question. Because I forget what year, and it's been discussed, what year 999 takes place. But we still have the actual lunar eclipse, because the moon is red. That's for a fact. But I just wonder if there's been like a huge jump in time because of those freaking beds. It's like, they talked about the cold sleep, and I'm trying to think it out, like, who was in that cold sleep? Who was there? And I forget if I ever mentioned, I thought for the longest time Quark is a golem. Could still be. I don't know. Maybe they're all freaking robots. But maybe, I don't know if this has something to but they have the cure for Radical 6, and I don't know. Let's just play the game.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Ally automatically. And the other 6 got penalized.
Yeah, woohoo! You gotta vote, vote.
And again, 5 of them are already dead.
Oh, that's what the skulls meant. The skulls meant not
like
you didn't vote. None of your party voted, so you die. Yeah.
We don't know where Quark is, but his bracelet's already off.
Yeah. That means all those penalties are meaningless. Why did Luna show up then? I mean, we've got our 9 BP now, but All right. What do you want to do, Sigma? Do you want to leave?
What? You're kidding, right? Weren't you the one who kept going on about Quark, about how Quark's still alive? You can't just run off and leave him here.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, that's a relief. I was hoping you'd say that. Well, let's get moving. We need to find Quark.
And Luna too, right?
Luna.
Now they close.
Yeah, they're closed. And it's the stars. Yay. Dot 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 dot.
Fi and I checked our bracelets out of sheer reflex. I was a magenta pair, just like before, but Fi had changed to a red solo. It didn't really matter, though. Both of our bracelets showed the number 9. All we had to do was open the number 9 door, and we'd never have to play another AB game again.
Is it a real Baja Blast, not a diet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said.
I asked for a diet, but they ran out.
No, they ran out of regular.
Wait. This is a diet.
Yes.
Oh, then I asked if it was a regular. Whatever. All right, Quark. I just like Sigma. Is this a diet? Is this a diet Baja Blast?
Fi was looking at SungWon the entire time while he halted this Let's Play.
Yeah.
To ask me about that Mountain Dew. It's like, we got a serious situation here. Luna's alive, and then Fi's just like, really? Really?
I mean, I'm on a diet, so I gotta have a diet. I'm not actually on a diet. All right, Quark comes first. Let's go.
Let's go. She spun around and headed for the cyan door. I followed on her heels. I think "Let's go" must be the most repeated phrase in this entire
Not square
game.
square?
No, in this game, not us. Like game.
Oh, I think it might be in other words.
No, oh my God, that is another one.
They say it all the time.
And Dio just says "fuck."
Yeah.
Shit. He says shit the most.
Yeah. Let's go is a lot, but in other words, that's like their only transition phrase.
Yeah.
In 999, it was like a bit, but yeah. I haven't pointed out, but they say it all the time.
Where are you, Luna? Where are you, Quark? Like, we don't have to do another room, right? Isn't the 4th round now? It's just like, oh, you just play the AB game over and over again. Unless, yeah, been there. Haven't been there in like a while. Haven't been here in like a century.
Oh, yeah,
they died here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've been here in a minute. Our old golem friend, Cockney. Model Cockney.
Sigma, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it?
There are 3 doors here. You, Alice, and Luna went through the one on the right. That took you to the Golem Bay, correct?
Yeah. According to the map, that's the door on the bottom. There's a lever on that thing in the middle, right? We pulled it, but it only opened one of the doors. What about it?
Take a look. See the lock?
Take a look is another repeated phrase. Open?
Yeah.
And who the hell opened it? And how?
There's only one person who could have opened it.
Luna.
Alright, let's head in.
Okay. Okay is another one. What the heck are these things?
I think they're treatment pods of some sort.
Whatman pods? Even as I spoke, part of me knew what they were. I didn't know how or why. I felt a strong sense of deja vu when I looked at them, and suddenly I realized I knew exactly how to operate the pods. It was a strange, unsettling feeling, as if somewhere deep inside was a version of myself that I didn't actually know.
One of them is lit up.
The one on the left? The one on the left. Is it being used?
The glass is all fogged up. I can't really see inside.
Let's crack it open then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quark! Who's running in? Oh. Our feet pounded across the floor of the warehouse.
This is it. I love root beer.
So, I was doing a sound. I saw like a tweet. I think maybe it was like OK KO scenes out of context or something, and it was just KO like sitting on the floor. I think at like the dojo his mom works out. Works at just like flapping his arms on the ground and sitting and just go. It's really great. Anyway, this game. Quark's body bounced in my arms as I ran. His pulse and breathing were normal. He was limp and unconscious, but he was alive. Pod's display had given us a little information on his condition. As far as we could tell, he'd been given an anesthetic, which had put him to sleep.
Ready? What's wrong? You're supposed to say, yeah, sure. Let's go. In other words, you're supposed to say, let's go.
Yeah.
No. There'll be no going today. Is it really okay for us to just leave?
What the hell is this? You want to stay here? What if Luna kills you too?
What?
Think about it. Alice, Clover, Temioji, the old woman, even Dio and Kay. There's a good chance Luna killed all of them.
But why?
Why doesn't matter. Remember what we saw in Clover's thigh?
016.
And what's that the same number as?
Last 3 digits of Luna's product ID.
Where did we find the old woman's corpse?
In the AB room that Luna came out of.
And if you're right, her brain is in the central computer core. That means she could have easily moved that crane, right? She could have used it any time she wanted.
Means any alibi she might have for not being able to move the crane is worthless.
Exactly. She must have moved the AB room. Alice noticed it right away. At the very least, that would mean Luna had a reason to try and kill Alice.
To keep her quiet.
She could also have murdered Dio and Kay. Remember their star keys? Luna must have taken them, which puts her in the room with Dio and Kay. You understand, don't you? I admit none of this evidence is conclusive. But look at our options. You, me, Quark, and Luna. Who do you think is most likely to be the murderer? Think this through, Sigma. Luna's a golem. That means she's a robot that's part of this facility designed to do God knows what. If what you said about golems in the central computer is true, she's basically a puppet of Zero Junior's. There isn't really much of an argument to be made here. The only option is to leave her here and get out! Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
A robot may not injure a human being or, through an action, allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Okay. You're right. Let's get out of here.
Damn. Don't scare me like that. Okay, I'm going to open it. You ready?
You don't have to ask me. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's time we got out of here. Let's go!
Yeah. Let's go. I totally forgot also the whole thing with Quark and Temioji's backstory. That sounds very similar to how there was, like, areas affected by Radical 6 where a lot of people died. So it's like, did they come from, like, a place where a lot of people committed suicide because of Radical 6? Forgot to mention that. Anyway, this game. With a heavy, labored groan, the number 9 door began to open. As soon as the gap was wide enough to admit her body, Phi slipped through it. I followed her through, Quark still cradled in my arms. Inside was a massive lift platform, like the kind used to move industrial cargo. Phi turned to face me, and I shoved Quark into her arms.
Huh?
Before she could respond, I spun around and ran.
There, it's open. You got 9 seconds. Sigma! What the hell are you thinking? Get back here!
Sorry, Phi. There's something I have to do. Take care of Quark.
No. You don't mean... You're gonna go find Luna? God damn it, Sigma! Think about what you're doing! Sigma! Listen to me! You can't do this!
Yes, I can.
I'm the chief inspector. Number 9 door's closed. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
And another thing, too. Unless things deviate drastically, Kay was murdered in the rec room. Blood was red. I had no regrets. In fact, with Phi and Quark's successful escape, I felt a profound sense of relief. One of my objectives had been achieved, and a difficult choice had been made. My mind felt clear and focused, more so than it had in a long time. All right, time to go. Luna's waiting.
That.
What?
You didn't see that? Transition?
Yeah, it kind of like squeezed like that.
Yeah, I think that is a sign of... Anyway.
Sign of what?
Nothing.
Tell me. Come on. Luna, I knew you'd be here.
You knew?
Oh, right. We haven't talked here in this one, huh?
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in this whole facility with anything green. I kind of feel silly for saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. I'm not sure what you meant just now, but are you talking about something that happened in another history?
What?
I know what you can do. Someone told me about it once. They said that you have the ability to transport your consciousness through time.
Who told you that? I'm going to look down at the music box around her neck. Carefully and delicately, she twisted the dial on the bottom.
Sigma, aren't you here to ask me something? Why I killed them, perhaps?
Well, actually, I already know you didn't do it.
Oh? Why do you think I didn't do it? I'd like to know your reasoning.
All right. I nodded and took a moment to compose my thoughts. Might as well start with the old woman. There's no point beating around the bush, I suppose. Dio killed her.
Why do you think so?
Her left arm had blood splatter all the way up to the elbow, except for a stripe on the wrist that was perfectly clean. What could have caused that? My guess is a bracelet. It got covered with blood and kept her wrist clean. Obviously, none of our bracelets had blood splatter on them, but Dio's bracelet reacted to the luminol. That meant Dio's bracelet had to have come from the old woman.
Is that your proof? That's why you think Dio killed her?
No, that's only enough to suspect him. After all, could have just taken the bracelet after someone else killed her.
Then why are you so sure?
Because he confessed.
What?
After his bracelet reacted to the luminol, I confronted him. Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Wait. When did that happen?
In a different timeline.
Isn't that against the rules?
What rules? Hope you're not going to try and bring up Nox's 10 Commandments. Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? The truth is the truth. Let's say that Incident P happens, and after that, the timeline splits into Timeline A and Timeline B. Timeline B. I don't think it's unfair to base a theory in Timeline A on information I found in Timeline B. After all, A and B both came from the same place, P. If you trace the history of both timelines, you'd end up back at Incident P. Now, if I could change what happened with Incident P by visiting Timeline A or B, then yes, it'd be a different story. I don't know that it'd be unfair, per se, but it'd certainly be breaking some pretty big rules. Like, you know, the principle of casualty?
Causality.
Causality, sorry. I'm sure that Dio killed that old woman. By extension, that means you couldn't have killed her. I'm assuming Dio wasn't originally intended to be a part of the nonary game. Somehow he got in and took the old woman's place. That's how he ended up as Quark's partner. This is just an educated guess, but I have a feeling his plan was to replace one of us. I doubt it mattered which one. I have no idea why he would want to do something like that. I don't know how he did it either. But the fact remains that he did. He hid in the warehouse on floor A and waited for someone to come out of one of the AB rooms. That someone turned out to be the old woman. She left Quark asleep in the AB room and came out on her own. Somehow he managed to get close enough to stab her. He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. I'm guessing he stabbed her from behind so that he wouldn't get any blood on himself. As soon as she was dead, he wrapped the knife up in that handkerchief. No, wait, actually, he probably took the bracelet first. Then he would have needed to wipe the blood off, so he used that handkerchief for that too. Anyway, the point is he got the bracelet and put it on. And he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the rightmost AB room and its neighbor. He probably didn't expect that they'd move, or he would have put it somewhere else. After that, he headed back into the AB room that the woman had left. Quark would have still been fast asleep, so as far as he knew, Dio was there the whole time. This does raise a few other questions. I'll save those for later. For now, let's move on to the other murders. Well, actually, one of them probably isn't a murder.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Alice. I'm pretty sure she committed suicide. All of humanity is going to die. Adults, children, everyone. Everyone! There won't be anyone left. I'd rather die here. She'd been infected with Radical 6. I think that infection caused her to take her own life. She used Dio's knife, which she found in the warehouse after the AB room moved and exposed it. She took it with her, and then used it to stab herself in the crew quarters. Next are Clover and Temioji. First question is, who put the handcuffs on them? The clue is the message Clover left, 016. If you think about it, though, it doesn't make sense. Clover's left hand was in the handcuffs. That means she would have had to write with her right hand on her right thigh. I feel like it would be really hard to do that, you know? Why not just use your left thigh? The thing is, I think she did. When she died, her legs slumped together, and the message got transferred to the right thigh. We just never saw the original because we didn't bother to check the other leg. In other words, she wasn't trying to write 016. She was trying to write Dio. With her dying breath, she was trying to tell us the name of her killer. Now, about Kay and Dio. I think there's a pretty good chance Dio killed Kay. Here's how I imagine it happened. Kay probably sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol. He found the bottle in Kay's robe. He wouldn't have seen the reaction immediately, but Dio would have known what was coming. As soon as Kay turned the lights off, it would be clear that Dio had taken the old woman's bracelet. My guess is he decided to take preemptive action. When we found their bodies, the lights in the rec room were on. Maybe Kay turned to switch the light off, and Dio took that opportunity to attack him. Kay was hurt pretty badly, but he didn't die right away. He probably managed to grab the spear and stab Dio. Then he died. So that accounts for all 6 bodies. None of them your fault.
Sigma, I'm glad you don't think I did it, but all of your theories are just, well, theories. Like Alice committing suicide. How can you be sure? Say she was infected with Radical 6. She could have been murdered before her symptoms even began to present themselves. As for Clover and Temioji, I could easily have killed them. You don't have any proof that Clover's message was mirrored, like you say, or even that it was supposed to refer to Dio. Even if it did, that's not conclusive evidence of his guilt. The same goes for Kay and Dio. I could have killed them both. Why do you trust me so much? I'm a machine. I'm part of this place. How can you trust a machine?
That's why I trust you.
What?
I trust you because you're a robot. Or I trust you because you're a robot. Your robotness is just one more reason you can't be the killer. Well, 3 more reasons.
3 laws of robotics. Yeah.
Rule number 1, robot
can't
may not
hurt a
injure,
human
kill.
being.
Robot.
And yeah.
Sigma.
Luna, I have to ask you. Can you tell me, well, everything you know? Your mind is in the central server. You should know everything that's happened here. There was a long pause. Luna stood up and walked deeper into the garden. I followed her in silence. Eventually, we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down, and just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right.
That doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used a large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door. Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
It doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily. But that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they brought him here?
In a way.
But why?
Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What project?
I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever. Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
So why did he come here?
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms.
5th and 6th?
Counting from the left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room. The one next to it would be the 5th?
Right. After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Wait, Zero Jr. controls everything. And he was the one who moved the 6 room with the crane?
Yes, that's right. Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Then, who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Why did you do that?
Because I was ordered to.
What? Luna. Oh, is it me? Me.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Luna, listen to me very carefully. As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours. This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure. Yes, I understand. Then let's make sure. What is your mission? Enter the nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths. How many players will there be? Myself and 7 others, ma'am. Will you be participating as well? Yes, our plan dictates that I must. An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct? Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place. If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am. Is there a problem? With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease. That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders. But, Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this. Yes. Good. Now I have one final order. Another order, ma'am? Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them. Where? To the room you are about to enter, the 6th AB room. But why? Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know which, ideally, you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants. Is that an order? Yes. Do I make myself clear? Yes. After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake, so I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility. And
you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes, it was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her. When she said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, Whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to?
Yes.
And it was the old woman who gave you those orders? Then is she Zero Senior?
No.
What? But if she gave you the orders...
She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I suppose technically my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Jr. too. I told you before that Zero Jr. moved the 6AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me.
But why?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me?
They didn't want people to suspect you. What? And why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out the rooms had been moved, and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean?
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That doesn't make sense either. They wanted people to suspect you. Why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife there?
Yes, I think so.
But how could they know that?
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though, or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes.
Wait, you were listening to us in the security office?
Yes. That wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras.
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful. I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up. I'm only going to give you one chance. If you lie or try and play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her. I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been injected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun. I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course, while we were fighting over it.
Whoa, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight. I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to you.
You mean because I'm a golem?
Yeah.
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players, a human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
That's why you, died? To keep up the facade that you were human?
No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd been to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran out to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes.
It uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
Correct.
So that was why she left?
Yes. At 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters. She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Dio?
Yes. I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk, she just ran past.
And he just watched her go by?
Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing. But he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do. Zero hours, 12 minutes, Dio enters the room. He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I bet.
It didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Would imagine it would. What did he do then?
He'd gone there for two reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right?
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course! If I had already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do, too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome.
Why did he want the knife? Was it because he'd use it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so.
Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that?
Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade.
Myrmidons?
Did you forget about that part?
No, as we were talking about, because I forgot about the knife, because the knife hasn't always been, like, in Alice.
Yeah.
But then, like, as soon as, like, okay, yeah, you know, the knife is the weapon in this. And then I'm like, but something was on the knife. Was it, I'm like, was it fucking Myrmidons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does Myrmidons mean?
It's the name of the organization he belongs to.
What is it? Like a club or something?
I don't think so.
Well, what is it then?
I don't really know.
No idea?
I'm afraid not.
Wait. Wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then, wouldn't that mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it. This is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
Yeah, keep going.
After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said no.
This is me? Oh, okay. After he took the
Unless I'm Cookie Monster now. Or Elmo.
Luna said he didn't steal anything in particular. Luna said.
Okay, anyway, continue.
Luna's not real. Luna's a
Luna's a golem.
Yeah, well, Luna's my friend.
Oh yeah, your friend.
Anyway, after he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it. At least as far as Luna could tell. In 0 hours, 13 minutes, Dio left the room.
Luna said he heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out.
I'm doing the character for this band the whole time, for the rest of the game.
Okay.
When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Hey, wait! Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you? When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said, they began to fight. The fuck do you think you're doing? Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up.
Dio, what the hell are you doing?
None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Temioji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then, as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. But Dio was much younger and stronger. Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Temioji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. Put up a valiant fight. With a roar, Dio threw him off. Temioji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this?
Ah!
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm going to handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you going to beat us to death or something?
Ugh, no. Nothing so tasteless.
But what are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
Would you like to play a game?
A bet?
You've got 20-some minutes until the primary white door is open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close, give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, then you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help. Now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the 4B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
"25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come apart from Dio.
You mean you mean me, Phi, and K, right?
Yes. You were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. Only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Temioji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand. And the word she wrote was Dio. Oh, yeah.
The word she wrote was
Yeah,
Dio?
that was it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You caught on. Maybe next time use a capital D.
Well, I mean, you could mistake that for another O. Someone's shaky handwriting with their finger while they're like.
Well, you can the D looks like a 6, so same problem.
That's what happened in the rec room.
No, it's a backwards 6. I'm putting the controller down. I'm arguing with you about this. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol. Then while his back was turned, Dio attacked him with the axe. So Kay sprayed him and back. Stop. Stop. No. Dio.
Stop it, Dio.
Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him. So Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. I'm sorry, that was a serious moment. I just imagine, like, Kay getting a huge axe in his back and turns around and is like, are you for fucking real?
You are a bitch.
It's like, you serious? You serious? Give me the shit.
And Dio's like, no, wait, man, back off. Go.
Who throws an axe? Seriously.
Come here.
And stabs him.
Come here. No, don't back off. Don't back off. Dio mortally wounded him. But didn't. Oh, yeah, I read that. I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get the luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
That was when he found the luminol.
Right. That's everything that happened. I suppose you all might have some questions, but I guess you'll have to ask them tomorrow. Bye.
Oh. Well, you got a long episode. You should have your fill.
Yeah.